Hi guys, it's me, Nocturnal, again. I'm sure you know who I am by now, me and my 1 million subscribers. I do personals. Check the description. Just email me, okay? Alright, give me some messages for the collective. Give me some messages for the collective. What does the collective need to know? Okay. Are you playing tricks with yourself? Are you tricking yourself about something? Thinking you're gonna win? Let's find out. What is this 7 of Swords? What's this Magician? Knight of Swords. Okay, this is Ace of Cups. This is 10 of Cups. 1 second, let me just make sure. This is Magician of Lovers. There's some type of deception, trickery going on, right? It's not going to put you where you want to go, though. It's going to kind of keep you stagnant. I don't know who's doing it. Not saying it's you. It could be someone around you. It's not going to take you where you want to go, okay? Or whatever plan they have, if it's not you, and I hope it's not going to go the way they want it to go. There's definitely some lies, some deception, some trickery going on. It could be trickery within yourself. It could be trickery about yourself, from you. But we're going to see. What's this right here? Are you doing like half-ass shadow work? Because that's kind of, because that's kind of what I'm picking up, right? You're doing shadow work, but not all the way. I think we spoke on this earlier this week or last week. You're picking things to acknowledge about yourself, but it's not the shit that really matters, okay? Some of you are kind of cunning in your behavior. Some of you are kind of dishonest, okay? And some of that cunning and dishonest behavior is coming within your shadow work. You might not even be aware of this because you're so good at tricking people that you're tricking yourself into thinking you're actually doing shadow work, but you're not, okay? Shadow work is actually going deep within, really deep. Super deep, not just surface level, okay? 5 of Swords and the 10 of Cups. To me, this 10 of Cups right here is false, right? You think you're winning, but you're not. You think you're progressing, but you're not. You may be a little, right? And this is as far as shadow work. So far, this is as far as shadow work. You have to go all the way in, not just a little bit. You can't just show off for the world and say you're changing when you're changing the minuscule things that don't matter, when you're not changing the things that make you an awful communicator, that make you an awful person to be around, that make you the type of person that no one wants to say anything to you because of how you react. You're not touching those things, right? And it's like, I feel like you're putting on this facade to the world that you are just like really making deep changes, but you're not, honey. You're stuck. You cannot half-ass shadow work. You might as well stay the same, okay? What's this right here? Exactly. This Ace of Cups came out under the Devil, right? But then here's the High Priestess, reverse. You're bound to this. You're bound to this false win. But underneath, you're this High Priestess in reverse. People might not see it, but you know it, and the people closest to you know it, okay? You know, I'm trying to be as nice as possible about this, okay? But if you're a dick, you're a dick. You cannot be a dick and call yourself a divine being, okay? You cannot be this. Because we got this and this in the same spread. Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords. I was hoping it was someone else, but it turns out to be you. You cannot be these two energies. Sneaky, cunning, lies, right? You cannot be that and call yourself a divine feminine or divine masculine, because this is what you are, the High Priestess in reverse. But you've gotten comfortable living in this false hallucination of a winning spiritually, but you're losing. Okay? You hide from the truth. Four of Cups and the Ace of Swords. You hide from the truth about yourself, but you acknowledge the tiniest infractions, right? Like, let's say some of your shadow work, you say, oh, I let people take advantage of me. Yes, that is a real thing. But what about the other stuff that doesn't have to do with other people? What about the darkness within? It's easy to admit that you let other people take advantage of you, but it's hard to admit that you're a cock, isn't it? And you can be a cock and let people take advantage of you. You can. And you're still a victim to that. But real shadow work is really admitting what is wrong with you without mentioning other people. Yes, that is an aspect of shadow work. Letting people take advantage of you means you have a lack of love for yourself. But what about the other stuff? What about the stuff that allows you to treat people like shit? Because that type of shadow work that you're doing is just victimizing yourself. You're making yourself a victim via shadow work, which is dark beyond belief. Okay? See this Fool reverse and the Emperor in reverse? That's part of your shadow work. You don't make the best decisions, some of you. You don't treat people right. Some of you have narcissistic tendencies. But see, those are the things that you don't want to touch. You want to touch on the shadow side of yourself that involves other people doing you wrong. But you don't want to touch on the part that involves you doing other people wrong. Because you can be done wrong and still do other people wrong, right? So we don't want to use shadow work to make ourselves a victim, do we? No. I'm getting so annoyed of trying to keep it cool. Because like I said yesterday, I used to be a huge fucking victim. And now I cannot stand it. And the energy I'm picking up is using shadow work to victimize yourselves. Where the fuck do you think you're going to get with that? Okay, let's see some more. You know, eventually you're going to be pushed to face the truth. Somehow, some way. And honestly, from this Three of Pentacles, I don't know how spiritual you are or may not be, but this is an ancestral setup. Because they're tired of watching you misuse some of the strongest spiritual tool, which is shadow work. They're tired of watching you do it, so they're about to bring a huge tower moment to your life. You'll no longer be able to call yourself a victim at all. Okay? You'll have to really do some shadow work. If you don't stop the bullshit now, what they are about to put you through, there'll be no more room for victimization of self. You'll have to take complete accountability. Okay? I don't want you to go through that. I went through that, okay? I was homeless for 3 years. Broke me down, literally. To the point where my friend Tanya has to tell me to be a little softer on myself. Because it broke the victim out of me so much. I have to find balance into actually realizing when I'm being done wrong now, when I'm being too hard on myself. And my friend Tanya over there at Tarot Vibes, go subscribe. I'll put her in the description. She has to remind me to balance out. So yes, there's balance in everything, but the collective that is going to understand this reading, you are misusing shadow work to the point where your ancestors are about to allow you to go through hell. Okay? Give me more. I even feel that some of you in certain situations were the villain and you made yourself the victim. Those things are about to come to light. And if you're watching this and someone made you the villain and acted like they were the victim, trust me, they're about to get exposed. Listen, y'all, the spirit world, the universe is not playing right now. They're not playing. Okay? It's time to get serious. Your lies are about to be exposed. The people you villainized and made yourself the victim, you're about to be seen for who you really are. Okay? And if you are the victim of this... Hi, that video cut out, right? But this is going to be a part 2, because I'm going to get this out. If you are the victim of the person that made you a villain, don't worry. It's coming out, okay? Y'all, the energy has been so heavy, it's crazy. Look, the world, an ending. The cunning behavior is coming to an end, okay? If you've been doing the shadow work, you're going to be fine. All right? Times are about to get easier for you. If you have not done the shadow work and you've been misusing it and using it to victimize yourself, good luck. Good luck to you, okay? I hate that the video cut out, but this is the end of it. All right? So yeah, don't do that. Actually do the shadow work, okay? Thanks for watching, guys.